Welcome everyone to the first ever episode of Bryno's Beers, the show where I drink and evaluate the wonderful nectar of the gods that is beer. I am Bryno here, and this is going to be my beer review show here on Bryno's World, taking a slightly different approach from other shows you might see on YouTube, but I'll explain why in a little bit. But first, let's talk about the beer we're going to be reviewing on this episode. This is Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Stout from the High Gravity series from the New Holland Brewing Company in Michigan, I believe, according to this label. Yep, the New Holland Brewing Company, LLC, in Holland, Michigan. Again, this is a bourbon barrel stout, and let's see what it rates at alcohol-wise here. 11.0% alcohol, vintage 2015, so I will tell you right away, I've had this beer already a few times before. I think it's really, really good. But I felt like putting it under the microscope here of Bryno's Brews here. Before we get started though, I've got a unique scoring system for this show here. I'm not just going to go straight up 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, or 1 out of whatever. I'm going to sort of break this down a little bit by the beer's individual components based on its style. So here's a brief overview of how the scoring system works.
Scoring for Bryno's Brews is based loosely on the scoring system used by the Beer Judge Certification Program. In our system, a beer can earn a maximum of 10 points. 1 point can be awarded for appearance, 2 points for aroma, 4 points for flavor, 1 point for mouthfeel, and 2 points can be awarded for a beer's overall impression. And finally, partial points can be awarded in any category.
So that's how the scoring system works. Now, let's crack this beer open and see what it's made of. Here we are. Okie dokie. Not a whole lot of carbonation out here. Last few stouts I've had have been kind of on the flat side, off camera obviously. So first let's go for our appearance point. Pour this into the glass, see what happens. And there, let's see if we can get a little head on top of this. Okay. It's got a mild head. Oh, the head's starting to come through a little bit. Let's take a look here. It looks it's very dark. It looks like a proper stout to me. It's not the kind of nitro stout where you got the really thick and rich kind of head. This is a regular stout with regular kind of beer. So let's see. You know what? It looks nice. Since I got my score sheet here in front of me, I'm going to give this the full point for the appearance. 1 out of 1. Write that down there. So now let's go for the 2 points for aroma. See how it smells. Oh my God. You can smell the sweetness of the bourbon almost right away. Oh, that bourbon smell is just so incredibly awesome and great. It's just, oh my God. This is a good one. I mean, I've liked this beer already before, but it just makes me want to drink it right now. But first, I'm going to give it its full 2 points for its aroma, because it deserves it. So now let's go evaluate the best part of the beer, its flavor. 4 points are on the line here. So, here we go. Oh, wow. I don't know where to start. I gotta have another sip to check it out. When I first sipped it, the bourbon flavor came in pretty well. I don't know. Maybe it just, for some reason, it just tastes like a little bit old, maybe a little alcohol-y. I mean, yeah, it's 11% alcohol, so obviously you're gonna taste it, but I like the flavor a lot. I think the only knock I would give on this beer, I think the bourbon flavor is maybe just a tad overpowering. It's definitely good. There's no doubt that it's good. I don't want to say it's a little much, but it's a little much. I mean, I prefer to also get some of the sweetness from the malt and such, and other things that are in there. But then again, it is a bourbon barrel stout. I expect some bourbon flavor. I don't expect it to be in my face, and it's not in my face. It's there, just maybe a hair too much. Just a hair too much. It's still really good, though. Well, since partial points are available in every category, for flavor, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of a possible 4 points. 3.5 points. So now, 1 point for mouthfeel, just how it feels in the mouth. Let's do just a mouthfeel test. Not feeling anything objectionable, I should say. From what I understand, stouts are not supposed to be super carbonated, and this is not super carbonated. I think the carbonation is just on point. It's nothing objectionable. I think it's very, very appropriate for a stout. So, you know what? I'm going to give this beer the full point for the mouthfeel. So now, the final 2 points for the overall impression of the beer. When I drink this casually, it definitely gets the full 2 points there. Analyzing it though, maybe just the flavor, the bourbon just is coming out too much. Maybe it's just this bottle. I don't remember tasting this. Again, it's not overpowering, but I think it's just maybe a tad bit too much. Let me give one more swig. It's not as good as I remembered, but it's still pretty good. So, overall impression, out of a possible 2 points, I'm going to give it 1.5. So after totaling up the scores here, this beer rates 9 out of 10, which is a phenomenal score for a beer of this type, or for a beer of any type for that matter. It's very, very good. You got the nice sweetness, sweet bourbon flavor, smells good, looks good. So that will do it here for the first ever episode here of Bryno's Beers here on Bryno's World. Thank you for watching, and come back again.